Charlotte Berger Public Relations is one of the leading public relations firms in Charleston. Today, I talk one-on-one with the founder of the firm, Charlotte Berger, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Charlotte Berger, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk to you today.
Well, I appreciate it greatly. Obviously, you're one of the top public relations firms here in Charleston, and I know that you obviously have a team of passionate and trustworthy change makers who obviously you view your jobs as much more than just a 9 to 5. You say that you love what you do, and you know who you do it for.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like, loving what you do is so important. It's such a huge part of your life. And I really kind of carved out my dream job. And I'm really grateful that our company is continuing to grow and we have such great clients and a great team. So
when did this become your dream job?
So in college, I kind of knew some avenue of marketing related to the culinary industry was kind of my ideal job. So I looked at cities with a really up and coming restaurant scene. In Charleston, I'm from Michigan, went to college in Michigan. Charleston really caught my eye. Loved the city, the hospitality, the size of it, the weather, of course, and started out in PR. In 2013, worked for a couple larger agencies. And then in 2020, when COVID hit, in May, I decided to open my own firm and kind of had some ideas of how I wanted to do things a little bit differently, and also wanted to involve the nonprofit space as well, which I really missed at my other firms. We didn't really work with nonprofits. So that is kind of a large part of our work as well. And yeah, that was in May of 2020. So it's been a busy 2 years.
Absolutely. How did you obviously work the nonprofit space into your public relations firm?
Yeah. So when I first started, I kind of envisioned it being about 50% nonprofit, 50% restaurant. Obviously, nonprofits, I would argue they do some of the most impactful work in the city, but they don't have the same funding as other businesses. And many, I learned, can't afford any sort of a PR or social media firm. So we learned, to be able to kind of continue to grow. 50% was kind of not an ideal percentage, but we still have been able to work with about 3 to 4 nonprofits a year. And we host a nonprofit Fresh Start contest every December where nonprofits can nominate themselves, and we pick one winner and they receive 6 months of free work. So our winner for this year was We Are Family, Charleston's LGBTQ nonprofit. Love them, love their mission, and we helped with their PR for their queer proms and did everything from help them get live, auction items from different local businesses to get sponsors from corporations to just help get the word out about both their 2 events in the spring. So, nonprofits definitely something we're all passionate about, but it's not, necessarily a massive part of our day to day, but it's still something that we enjoy doing for sure.
And I know one of your past clients have been the Low Country Local Folks.
Yes. Yeah. We love working with them.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Great people over there for sure. I know that you said this, our new marketing approach succeeds in providing long-term value and ROI, of course. Coupling press with the top-notch social media and influencer campaigns is key to yielding optimal results. With Charlotte Berger Public Relations, your maximum potential is not just reachable, but accessible. Exceedable, that is. What was that marketing approach to public relations before Charlotte Berger Public Relations?
Yeah, so PR just continues to change so quickly, the landscape, especially with COVID, that things really shifted. So, when I started in PR, the focus was always on large print publications, kind of dealing with the same writers over and over. Now, over time, people became more glued to their phones, especially during COVID, and the landscape just shifted to be so much more digital. So really the rise of influencers continues to be a huge part of what we're seeing as key to PR campaigns. And we really have a really good handle on, especially local influencers.
Yes.
I started a group in 2016 called Tastemakers, which is basically all of Charleston's top influencers under one umbrella, and we connect. We have 25 members, 300,000 total followers, and we connect restaurants, nonprofits, and influencers under one umbrella. So we've been able to tap a lot into that group with our clients and seen a lot of success. Print media is important, but there's also so much with social media that's key. The average person spends about an hour and 20 minutes on social media a day, which is pretty wild. So we want to make sure our clients are front and center on things like Instagram.
Sure.
We do videos and reels and stories for all of our clients for a really affordable, competitive rate. And we're very boots on the ground, playing into trends and trying to make sure that we're beating that algorithm that's ever changing to make sure our clients are top in the feed. So.
And what are those competitive rates now versus 2 years ago when you started this particular public relations firm?
Yeah, so starting in the middle of COVID, I worked at larger agencies. Our fees were definitely on the high side, and I just realized that the average small business owner just couldn't afford them. So I started kind of meeting people where they're at, especially on the restaurant side of things. Obviously, started pretty low in terms of my rates and kind of worked my way up, kind of looking at what was their top priority, what were some things that maybe could be cut out, and just getting to like the nitty gritty of what was definitely needed. We offer a really competitive rate, especially when you're looking at influencer marketing, social, and PR combined. Our team's trained on all three, so we don't have separate social managers or separate influencer managers. Your PR contact as a client is the same that's doing your social and influencer, which we found produces the best results. All three are really tied together. You get a press hit, you want to get it live on social media, you want to tag the writer. So it also, our employees love it because they aren't doing the same thing every day. They're not just pitching or not just doing social calendars. It keeps them really fresh on top of their game and really makes them well-rounded PR professionals. So we found that that's worked really well.
And what are your employees pitching right now to that particular world in Charleston?
Yeah, so we started with a really heavy focus on restaurants, and since 2020, we've expanded a lot, and now we have culinary and beverage products.
Sure.
We have interior designers, real estate agents. We have some medical professionals, some folks in the fitness space.
Yes.
So we've really kind of found that there's so many people that need PR, social, and influencer help, and we've really enjoyed the other industries we've ventured into, and some have really surprised us with how much we've enjoyed them and how well we've been able to produce results for them. So right now, some kind of new things, we're working with a new hormone therapist that's opening in Charleston next month. We're really excited about them. They're called Optimal Bio.
Okay.
And it's crazy how much hormones kind of affect your day-to-day, things like sleep and energy and focus and anxiety and depression. And so she's really been revolutionary to help folks kind of get their hormone levels in balance. That's something we're learning a lot about and excited about. We also, Malika is a Pakistani restaurant. They're opening their second restaurant, Mom Saab, downtown later this year. So we're gearing up for that. That'll be a really fun restaurant opening. They're the only Pakistani restaurant in the state. So we're really excited about that. They have a new menu at Malika. They just changed to table service. So they're in Mount Pleasant Town Center. We love working with them. And then we work with Metal and Pedal, an interior design firm. They've just revamped some sorority houses at UGA that are pretty impressive looking. So we're excited to get some national press for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And with those clients, Charlotte, which ones have surprised you the most?
Yeah, I think so. We started work with a company called Titus, which is based out of Japan. That's kind of one of the great things about remote work is, especially on the product side, we can work with people anywhere. So, we love our local Charleston clients and we know the media influencer market here really well, but we also excel with national press. And so Titus approached us. They're a diabetic meal kit delivery service, and the founder just has a really compelling story. His wife died of health complication, and he's been working to really provide nutritious, fun, exciting snacks to the diabetic community. And they've been really surprising us in the influencer realm because they had a goal of engaging 10 influencers in 3 months, and we got them 10 in the first 10 days. And so they're just, the interest of this market was really kind of surprising to us. It's something new for us. We haven't worked in the diabetic space, but we've been working with a lot of diabetic coaches and nutritionists and been really surprised by the kind of interest and response there, which has been really great for kind of growing their brand. So, yeah.
Okay, with that, Charlotte, let me ask you, how have you built relationships with this particular power that you have?
With specific nutritionists and diabetic coaches?
Or with your clients in general?
Yeah. So I think, relationships are definitely the heart and soul of what we do. And it's great being a business owner because we get to pick who we want to work with now. So everyone we work with is just very kind, great communicators, people we really believe in their missions. So, I think being able to work with people, not just in Charleston, but in Asheville, Charlotte, really across the world, the Titus clients based in Japan, has been awesome. And remote work is great. I mean, you can really still connect via Zoom well. Of course, we love our local clients. We see them, in person more often. But yeah, I think it's just been we just have such a great group of people right now. And being able to kind of pick who you want to work with is really nice and not something obviously you can do when you're not a business owner. So there's nobody where I'm like, oh, they're a pain, it's just like everybody's just so wonderful to work with, which is really nice. Makes our job easy.
Absolutely. And how do you use communications as an art and as a science to achieve individual inclusivity in your campaigns and messages?
Yeah, that's really important. And, something that we've been, especially with We Are Family, Charleston's LGBTQ nonprofit, kind of talking about that conversation. I think, engaging with a variety of different people. And we see this in tastemakers. We have people from all different backgrounds, ages. Some live, all over the city. Some are moms. Some are teachers. Some are marketing professionals. Some were born in Charleston. Some were born, outside the U.S. So I think it's really important to have that, diverse range of voices speaking on behalf of brands, and to be working with writers from all capacities. A lot of our clients have a really broad range of their target demographics. So a lot of them, especially in the product space, kind of cater to a wide variety of people. So it's important to be engaging with writers and influencers that cover a variety of different kind of demographics for sure.
And what exactly is your target audience, Charlotte?
For Charlotte Berger PR?
Yes, ma'am.
So we work with, like I kind of mentioned, like we've ventured outside of just the culinary nonprofit space, which has been exciting. So really anybody, we work with small business owners and also larger groups, larger corporations that have multiple offices. Anybody that's in need of some help getting the word out, whether it's via public relations, social media, or influencer marketing. I think especially in the social space, a lot of business owners, it's easy to get tied down with being on that app, being on Instagram and Facebook. It's very time consuming, especially to do it the right way. We want to free our clients up to focus on the big picture and what they enjoy most and why they started their business in the first place. So we try to take all of the marketing off their plate that they just either don't have the expertise in or don't have the time for, and allow them to really continue to grow their business in the way that they set out to in the first place. So anybody wanting to get the word out or really wants an expert team in place for PR, social, or influencer marketing.
And what is that big picture for public relations?
Well, I think PR is definitely one of those things that continues to evolve. And, we're really proud to have a young team that really stays on top of things, and stays on top of kind of what the younger generation's doing and what we're seeing. So, it's continuing to go more digitally. I think influencers are continuing to rise in their power to make affect brands. I think more of them are charging. It's a lot of work for sure to produce content. So we're seeing, a rise in the power of influencer marketing. Also video. Video is just so king on Instagram, as you probably know. And so we're trying to stay ahead of the curve in a way it works for our clients. We're not charging them for these elaborate video shoots. We're doing boots on the ground videos. Our clients in other cities, we have Instagram reel managers in those cities to help us produce video content. And we want to just get quick to the point videos up on a consistent basis without charging our clients a fortune for a shoot that's only going to live on Instagram for X amount of hours.
Right.
So yeah, definitely more, power of social media, influencer marketing. And then I think PR, of course, print media will always be important, but as writers continue to be let go from publications or budget cuts, a lot more writers are turning to freelance. So staying on top of who those folks are, where they're writing, where they're based is something that's kind of a never-ending work for our team to keep up.
And speaking of keeping up, what are those trends that you're seeing right now in public relations that you're trying to keep up with as a firm?
Yeah, so we are loving the rise in the popularity of podcasts. There's so many now that we've tapped into. You can name any industry, any niche, and there's probably a good handful of podcast hosts. So we're really, whether it's a restaurant owner or our hormone therapist, we're working to get them in podcasts on a local, regional, national level that are a fit. We're also seeing, with influencers, micro influencers are kind of a trend. So anyone from 3.5K to say 35K, we're seeing their engagement is higher than folks that are kind of macro influencers. They're easier to work with. They don't require contracts. They have shorter lead times, and they typically either charge less or would just do a promotion in exchange for an experience or a product. So we're really loving the trend of like the rise of micro influencers and kind of what our agency has been focusing on.
And how do you personalize content for greater outreach?
Oh, sorry. Can you say that one again?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I know you had the Apple notification, but how do you personalize the content for greater outreach?
Yeah, so personalization is definitely key. Media and influencers get so many messages a day, and it's really important that I'm sure you get so many, and some you're like, this has nothing to do with my what I feature, So we do a lot of research and only target folks that we know are going to be interested or hopefully interested in what we're pitching. And, calling out some stories that they've previously written and why we think X client is a fit, or letting them know if they have a new column, why we think this particular cocktail is perfect for it. I think, just making sure you're personalizing emails. We don't send mass distributions out of email blasts or press releases or anything like that. We haven't found much success. Or, it's just kind of like if you're a media person and you get a mass distributed pitch for something that you don't even cover, it makes you not want to work with that person, right? So we try to be really personalized and really knowing the media inside and out. So knowing that X influencer is pregnant, we're not going to invite them for a cocktail tasting, or X person's, in abroad right now, she's not a fit for this event. We try to really keep up with kind of what they're doing. So,
and I know you got to run, but let me ask you three more questions. How do you marry historical research with predictive A1 to develop the authentic messages to build relationships?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot more. You mean like keeping up with kind of the research with the industry right now? I
Yes,
think,
ma'am.
analytics are a huge part of what we do. And we do a lot in terms of monthly reporting, whether on the social side or the PR side. And at the end of the day, numbers only matter if they're resulting in more sales and more revenue. That's the whole goal for our clients. But we do as much reporting as we can because PR isn't always black and white. You can't always say, well, X person visited this hotel as a result of reading this article. But what we see is by keeping up to date with the latest kind of analytics and tracking and engagement tools, we can at least provide as comprehensive reports as we can. And then we have honest conversations with our clients every month of are you seeing an increase in sales? Are you seeing more customers in your restaurant? Are you seeing more online sales? And 99 out of 100 times, there is a positive correlation between more press, more social coverage, and more sales. But that's something we have open, honest conversations with because, especially in the influencer world, some of it is trial and error. If we're exploring a new partnership or a new kind of brand pitch, we want to make sure that what we're doing is working, right? So we do often kind of pivot month to month based on those numbers and what's working and what's not.
And what open and honest conversations are you having about public relations with your clients?
Yeah, I think, authenticity and like honest conversations with clients is something that's important to us. I think on the PR side of things, it's important to not, bolster yourself in a way that's like just being honest with what we're seeing and the results. So if we get a hit in a publication, instead of just sending them, this has 10 million unique monthly visitors. Well, does it really, or is it a section of a site that has it? Do we actually think that this article is worth this number that we're pulling online? So I think, having honest conversations about expectations too. We get a lot of clients that want to be on the front page of Bone App month one, and we have to be honest and say, this is kind of what you need to get there, and let's make a roadmap to get you there. But in all honesty, we don't foresee being able to get it, or maybe we do. So being honest about expectations is really key, especially if you're working with a client kind of new to the industry and new to PR, which a lot of them are when we engage them. So,
And what will be that roadmap for public relations in general in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, that's definitely the question that, we try to kind of see the trends and predict where it's going. I think that, again, digitally, just making sure that you're staying on top of, I think having an Instagram and Facebook now, if you're a business, is kind of like a necessary thing. I think for a while you could kind of get away with not, but now it's kind of, you not only need one, but you need one with good, consistent content and video. So staying on top of social and staying on top of the digital world and knowing that the number of minutes people spend on their phones is going up each year, which is scary. But, it's going to keep going digitally. I mean, print publications continue to fold, unfortunately. That's not to say we don't engage with top print hubs, but they're continuing to shrink their staffs and gotta stay on top of like what the future is, which is definitely digital.
And one last question for you, Charlotte. When it comes to your firm, what are your firm's strengths and weaknesses heading into 2023?
Yeah, I think our strengths, we have such solid team members. We spend a long time in the interview process making sure we're hiring people that are really driven, motivated, great communicators, love what they do. So I think our team, we're really excited about that. There's no weak one in the bunch. Every single person is really an A+ PR professional. And so I think going into 2023, we want to continue to grow, but we never want to grow too quickly where we're compromising quality. So we have a couple positions coming up that are opening soon that we're excited about, finding the next couple unicorns to add. I think the fact that we are a younger team, we're definitely staying on top of those trends that we talked a lot about, making sure that we're at the forefront of what PR means month to month. And, weaknesses, I think we're all very, I don't want to say perfectionist, but we really strive to produce the best work. And so it's easy to, we never are complacent. We're always thinking we can do better. We always know that there's something new to learn, something more we can be doing for our clients. So I think, each month our work does improve. And I think there's some areas that we are focusing on now that we really want to better our work and never be complacent with kind of where we're at.
And where are those areas that you want to focus on in 2023?
I think for 2023, at least for me, a business owner, continuing to kind of see what industries are a fit for our agency and knowing what clients are, being upfront about it's a two-way street. And just because someone's interested in working with us, maybe their funds are better spent on something else, like a website or SEO. So really, we're having in-depth conversations off the bat to make sure that our partners are perfect fits for us. We're focusing now on clients that are envision needing help long term. So we aren't doing project work at the moment. It's just it's harder to staff for, and we really look for clients that we want to develop a long partnership with. So I think for me, learning kind of what industries continue to be a fit, what businesses continue to be a fit, and kind of integrating our new team members into the fold and training them up to be able to manage themselves soon. So.
And one last question for you, Charlotte. What does public relations mean to you?
I think PR to me means giving deserving people the promotion they deserve, So, when I was in college, I used to love seeing the paper come out and seeing whether it was my friend's little business she started or X person on the soccer team that had a really great game. I just love seeing people get the promotion that they deserve and getting the word out and the power of getting the message in the right people's hands. So that's what it means to me. It's getting the word out about things that are businesses that are doing great work in the community that other people can benefit from, but they don't know about.
Right, exactly right. Yeah. Well, keep up the good work. And Charlotte Berger with Charlotte Berger Public Relations, thank you for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Well, likewise. I appreciate it greatly.